Two worlds collide, Meghan and Kate's contrasting realities. Their lives, though intertwined by marriage into the British royal family, could not be more different. Meghan Markle, a successful American actress, entered the British royal family with hopes and dreams. She brought with her the glitz and glamour of Hollywood, a world where she was already a star. She envisioned a life dedicated to service and positive change, hoping to use her platform to make a significant impact on the world. Her passion for humanitarian work was evident from the start. Princess Kate, already a seasoned royal, navigated the monarchy's complexities with grace and composure. Having been in the public eye for years, she understood the nuances of royal duties and expectations. Their paths, though seemingly aligned, were paved with stark differences. Meghan's journey was one of adaptation and learning, while Kate's was a continuation of a well-trodden path. These differences would eventually shape their journeys and their relationship with the institution they both married into. The pressures and expectations placed upon them were immense, yet their responses were uniquely their own. From the outset, their worlds stood in stark contrast. Meghan's American upbringing and career in entertainment clashed with the traditional and reserved nature of the British monarchy. Meghan, raised in California with an independent spirit, approached royal life with a fresh perspective. Her background in a more liberal and open society influenced her approach to her new role. Kate, steeped in British tradition, embodied the monarchy's time-honoured protocols. Her upbringing in the UK and her long-term relationship with Prince William prepared her for the responsibilities she would face. These contrasting backgrounds, while initially a source of intrigue, laid the groundwork for misunderstandings and tensions. The public and media often highlighted their differences, fueling speculation and comparisons. The public eagerly watched their every move, comparing their fashion choices, public appearances, and even their smiles. Every gesture and outfit was scrutinized, adding to the pressure they both felt. Meghan, accustomed to the spotlight of Hollywood, faced a new level of scrutiny under the watchful eyes of the world. The relentless media attention was both a blessing and a curse, amplifying her every action. Kate, having weathered her own share of media attention, navigated the public sphere with practiced poise. Her experience and understanding of royal protocols helped her maintain a composed demeanor. As their roles within the family evolved, so too did the dynamics between them. Their individual approaches to their duties highlighted their distinct personalities and backgrounds. Meghan, passionate about making her mark, found herself restricted by the monarchy's rigid protocols. Her desire for change and modernity often clashed with the institution's conservative nature. Kate, embracing her role as the future queen, adhered to tradition and expectations. Her commitment to her duties and her understanding of royal customs were unwavering. These differing approaches, while understandable, contributed to the growing distance between them. Their unique challenges and responses to their roles within the royal family underscored the complexities of their relationship. Lavish lifestyles and royal entitlement, Meghan's rude awakening. Meghan's entry into the royal fold unveiled a world of luxury and privilege beyond her wildest imagination. The grandeur of the palaces, the opulent banquets, and the elegant gatherings were a stark contrast to her previous life. She had always been accustomed to a certain level of glamour due to her acting career, but this was on an entirely different scale. Accustomed to a successful acting career, she was nonetheless taken aback by the opulence that defined the lives of William and Kate. The red carpet events and film sets she was used to seemed almost modest in comparison to the royal engagements and the sheer scale of the wealth and privilege that surrounded her new family. Their grand apartments at Kensington Palace, a stark contrast to her and Harry's more modest Nottingham cottage, served as a constant reminder of their differing positions within the royal hierarchy. The sprawling rooms and luxurious decor of Kensington Palace highlighted the disparity between the royal couple's living conditions and those of other family members. This realization, far from inciting envy, sparked a sense of bewilderment in Meghan. She found herself questioning the necessity of such extravagance and the values that underpinned it. The lavishness seemed excessive, especially when she considered the financial constraints she and Harry faced. She questioned the rationale behind such extravagant living, especially when juxtaposed against the financial constraints she and Harry faced. The couple often found themselves in deep discussions, trying to make sense of the stark differences in their living conditions compared to other royals. The disparity, jarring in its obviousness, planted the seeds of discontent, fueling her growing unease with the monarchy's inherent inequalities. The more she observed, the more she felt the weight of the systemic issues within the royal institution. Meghan's upbringing, rooted in hard work and self-reliance, clashed with the sense of entitlement that permeated certain quarters of the royal household. Her mother had instilled in her the values of diligence and independence, which now seemed at odds with the royal way of life. She struggled to reconcile the lavish lifestyles of some members with the financial limitations imposed on others, particularly those deemed less important to the line of succession. The contrast was not just in living conditions, but also in the attitudes and expectations placed upon different members of the family. This awakening, though unsettling, ignited a fire in Meghan. She began to see the royal institution not just as a family, but as a system that needed change. Her determination grew stronger with each passing day, fueled by a desire to challenge the status quo. It fueled her determination to carve her own path, one where financial independence and personal fulfillment took precedence over outdated notions of royal protocol and hierarchical privilege. She and Harry started to envision a future where they could make a difference on their own terms, free from the constraints of royal expectations. The stark contrast between her vision and the reality she encountered became a driving force, propelling her towards a future beyond the confines of the gilded cage. Together, Meghan and Harry embarked on a journey to redefine their roles, seeking a life that aligned with their values and aspirations, far removed from the opulence and entitlement that had initially overwhelmed her. Financial disparities, Harry's inheritance, and the Sussexes' struggles. The financial landscape of the British royal family is complex and often shrouded in mystery, but Harry's journey offers a unique glimpse into its intricacies. Harry, despite his royal status, operated under a financial structure that surprised many. Unlike the common perception of endless wealth, the reality was far more nuanced and restrictive. While he enjoyed a comfortable lifestyle, his financial resources were not limitless. The public often assumes that being a royal equates to having an inexhaustible supply of money, but Harry's experience was different. The bulk of his wealth stemmed from inheritances, notably from his late mother, Princess Diana. Her legacy provided a significant financial cushion, but it also came with emotional and practical complexities. This inheritance, substantial though it was, came with limitations, especially when compared to the vast wealth of the Duchy of Cornwall, which funded his father's and subsequently his brother's household. The duchy, a private estate established in 1337, generates millions annually, creating a stark contrast in financial power within the family. Meghan's entry into his life brought this financial reality into sharp focus. Her background as a self-made actress and entrepreneur meant she was used to financial independence and transparency. Accustomed to managing her own earnings, she was taken aback by the restrictions imposed on their spending. The royal financial system, with its layers of control and oversight, was a stark departure from her previous life. Harry's reliance on his inheritance, coupled with the lack of financial transparency within the royal family, fueled her unease. The couple found themselves navigating a labyrinth of financial protocols and expectations. In his memoir, Spare, Harry reveals the stark truth of their financial situation. He candidly discusses the pressures and limitations they faced, shedding light on the often hidden aspects of royal life. He details the limitations placed on their spending, the scrutiny over every expense, and the constant comparisons to the seemingly limitless resources of William and Kate. This financial scrutiny was not just about money, but also about control and influence within the family. This financial disparity, far from being a mere inconvenience, became a source of tension, highlighting the power dynamics within the family. The differences in financial freedom underscored deeper issues of autonomy and respect. The Sussexes' desire for financial independence stemmed not from greed, but from a need for autonomy and control over their own lives. They sought to break free from the constraints that had long governed their existence. Meghan's influence, rooted in her American upbringing and entrepreneurial spirit, encouraged Harry to question the status quo and seek a path that allowed them to define their own future both personally and financially. Her perspective brought a fresh and empowering approach to their shared goals, ultimately leading them to carve out a new life beyond the royal fold. Public scrutiny and royal reactions, navigating a sea of opinions. Meghan's arrival into the royal family was met with a wave of public fascination. The media, hungry for a fresh narrative, dissected her every move, comparing her endlessly to Kate. This scrutiny, though anticipated, proved relentless and often unkind. Meghan, accustomed to the Hollywood spotlight, found herself unprepared for the vitriol and negativity that often accompanied royal life. Within the royal family, reactions to Meghan's public reception were mixed. Some embraced her warmly, recognizing the positive impact of her modern perspective. Others, however, remained wary, clinging to tradition and viewing her with suspicion. This division within the family, subtle at first, deepened over time, fueled by external pressures and internal insecurities. The constant comparisons to Kate, though inevitable, took their toll. Meghan's efforts to carve her own path were often overshadowed by the weight of expectation. Her fashion choices, her public speaking engagements, even her interactions with children were scrutinized and compared to Kate's, often to her detriment. This relentless scrutiny, coupled with the lack of consistent support from within the royal institution, created a sense of isolation for Meghan. She found herself navigating not only the complexities of royal life, but also the minefield of public opinion, often without a clear roadmap or a reliable compass.